Hey team, welcome back. This time we're leaving the snow on the Lewis Pass and making our way west to Reefton, a quiet little peaceful town. Some anxious towing ahead for me over the Lewis Pass. Those of you who have followed us for a while know how much I love big, steep descents with the caravan on. But let's get straight into this one.
Hey everyone, welcome back. We are about to tow over the Lewis Pass. If you've been watching for a while, you know I am a bit of a nervous, anxious tower. The Lewis Pass is one of 3 of the alpine passes to get to the west coast. That's the only way to get to the west coast of New Zealand because of the big mountains of the southern Alps that run right from the top all the way to the bottom. We've already done a bit of a recce of the drive, so we drove all the way to Springs Junction. Doesn't look too steep, just a really long way down. It's about 6 kilometers of constant downhill, and we're about to go and do it. Let's go. Oh yeah, so the reason I'm an anxious tower is because when I was about 22 or something, I towed a braked trailer with the handbrake on, and I caught the whole thing on fire. The tires exploded, the trailer was on fire. We had to get all the gear off before they all started to burn as well. We put a fire extinguisher, water, it kept reigniting, it was so hot, and it just made me a little bit paranoid. And our old caravan that we used to own, which was a 1976 lightweight caravan, that thing had smoking brakes and we had to get a complete overhaul done on it. And it's just as a constant post-traumatic stress for me. Couple of one-lane bridges on the downhill on this, but so far I'm just in second gear. I haven't even had to brake yet. We're just coasting down 40 k's an hour, haven't even braked, so that's nice.
If you ever do find yourself towing over the Lewis Pass, you do want to be careful because the downhill traffic needs to give way on these one-way bridges to the uphill traffic, so you might need to stop.
Well, that's us down, no issues whatsoever. I'm going to say that's probably easier to go down than the Lindis Pass. Definitely easier than some hills in the North Island.
And once you're down in the valley, it is such a beautiful tow all the way through to Reefton.
Alright, we have made it to Reefton, just filling up with some water. There is a free camp just over there which we're going to go park at. There are a couple of park over properties, but they come at a cost, so we're just going to take the free option. It's like some nice walking trails in the river, so it's some actual better activities for our kids to be parked up here at the Freedom Camp. But it's only 2 nights, so we might see if there's someone we can call because we might like to stay a little bit longer. But town is just on the other side of us. Town's just there, so we're going to go and get some groceries once we've packed up. I think everyone's keen on some hot chips with chicken salt.
We loaded the spare tire with snow, so glad to see it's still there.
Definitely, that was a beautiful drive over the Lewis Pass into Reefton. Really easy tow. I was expecting there to be some a lot bigger hills coming over into Reefton, but mate, she was a beautiful drive. We were 4th gear most of the way, which is good for us.
A great little spot to park up, and we did enjoy some homemade hot chips with chicken salt with our dinner that night, which went down really well with everyone after being parked up in the snow for a few days.
Well, good morning from Reefton. What a beautiful spot, eh? Right by the river here. We've parked in the most shadiest car parking space. The tree and the sun is like blocking our panels pretty much for the entire day. Probably not the wisest place to have parked, but we didn't know that when we arrived. We're about to go for a walk. There's a really easy 2.5 kilometer walk that goes over a swing bridge following along the river here. So we'll go and do that walk. The last remaining patch of our snow that was on the tyre. It's lasted the whole day.
These kinds of walks are definitely our favourite because they loop around rather than having to go out and back. definitely a good walk.
I've had some good days, and I've had some worse, but none compared to the days that I've had with you. And I've had some high times, and I've had some cursed.
Well, a little bit of info for you. This was the first water hydroelectrical dam in the southern hemisphere. Is that right, Soph? The first town in New Zealand that got power, and it looks like they're rebuilding a new powerhouse station with the river. You can see they've dug out a little etty there for the water to go through, and they've made a new water race. Pretty cool. Go Reefton. So update, the first public power station. So not a commercial one or a private one, but one for people to have some lighting in their houses.
Thanks for the best day.
That's where the water's gonna come from, right over there.
And then it's gonna go
All the way through there to the back.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
There's gold in your eyes, son. Glow on your face, like a seaside sunrise somewhere along the PCH. It's cold in New England.
We found ourselves on another track. This is called the Reservoir Walk, which kind of we came across. There's this little pond here, and you got some all right views down into the town below. It's it's so much warmer down here, closer to the coast. It's definitely shorts and t-shirt walking weather. And there's Reefton.
I'd sell my guitars, I'd spend life behind bars to take one more trip through the starry night. This was the best day of my life.
Good evening, everybody. Got a bit of a Thai green curry going for dinner tonight. Should be pretty tasty, lots of fresh vegetables. Nice to be at a supermarket. A few little specials going. So we've got some yam curry and some rice. Over the past few months we have eaten quite a lot of frozen vegetables, so because it's just so much cheaper than buying fresh stuff. Like when it's $8 for a cauliflower, so it was quite good to get some specials at the supermarket. I think it was $5 for a cauliflower and $2 for a broccoli, so that's good. I phoned the Bulla District Council today to ask if we could stay here. It's only 2 nights here, which is not really long enough if you arrive late in the day. So they were amazed that we actually phoned. They said most people just don't ask and they just stay. So that is a really good tip. If you are wanting to stay somewhere that is a restricted number of nights, if you just phone the District Council, they're probably more than likely to let you stay a bit longer. Pro tip. How's dinner, kids?
Good. It's like amazing.
Yes, really good.
It's missing some garlic.
Well, good morning again from Reefton. We are heading off to Westport today. Thanks for the messages from some of you who follow us on Facebook and Instagram as well that have suggested a few things to do in the area. The kids really enjoyed going to the info centre yesterday, so I didn't come. I was on a big run up in the hills. So's been up on the zigzag track over the other side here, so we've done some exploring that hasn't been filmed. But we do like the suggestions, especially of things that aren't obvious. We're probably going to tick off all of the obvious things, but if you know some secrets in the area, then yeah, let us know. But otherwise, let's go head into town.
I'm gonna post all of our schoolwork.
Where to?
The post centre.
Back to Te Kura.
Yeah.
On then. I've been trying to advertise myself a little bit to get some plastering work, thinking it would be quite easy to pick some work up on the west coast with probably limited amounts of tradespeople, but they won't even, half the pages won't even let me post. They just block me, decline me, and won't let the message go out. So it's been a little bit hard to try and pick up some plastering and painting work over here, unfortunately, because We'd rather be doing some work while it's winter. Today is the 26th of July. Yeah, the 26th of July. But if you've got any connections on the west coast, or we're going to be heading back into Otago area after that, then let us know, because yeah, we would like to travel for at least another whole year, but we definitely do not have the funds to do that.
So the Reefton Information Centre has a really good replica mine inside it to go and check out. Definitely well worth having a look at that.
Hi, I'm Mick the Miner. Thanks for that. Welcome to the Quartzopolis Mine.
So the West Coast has a lot of history around mining, and this is definitely the start of a lot of mining adventures for our family.
This is what the mines look like in the area.
So this is all for free to just come in, have a wander around and have a look and spend as much time as you like. There's definitely a few other things that are worth having a look at while you're there too, so a great rainy day activity just to go check out the info centre for free. This was an old mine shaft hydraulic system that used to be used, but you can also hire some gold panning stuff and go for a wander out into the rivers and see if you can find yourself some gold. You can hire it right here at the info centre.
The hotel here, right next to the free camp, they allow you to park up here, I think for free as well, so even if you're not an NZMCA member, you can probably just go knock on the door and go and chat to the person at the bar. You might be able to camp here, especially if it's summer and it's full. It's definitely been nice to be a lot drier and a lot warmer. It's pretty fresh this morning, but condensation's nowhere near as bad. Our floor doesn't have insulation. When we're up in the snow, our floor was freezing. So it's been a lot nicer to like climb out of bed in the morning and the floor is dry and our feet don't turn to icicles. But anyway, let's hit the road and head to Westport.
Said you had a place